Hello there, Potter friends. I'm Brandy with Simply Potter, and today I'm going to be doing something just a little bit different with you. You might have noticed the lack of me posting anything to the website simplypotter.com last week, or posting a video up here on the YouTube or Facebook. And the reason that is the case is because I wasn't really up for putting myself in front of a camera at all. This week's video isn't going to be me crafting pretty little things or making yummy recipes or having fun with my Harry Potter friends, because sometimes life isn't always fun, delicious, and pretty. Sometimes life is a struggle, and if I've learned anything over the past few weeks, it's that those struggles can be overcome, and I really learned how Harry Potter teaches us how to overcome those struggles through many of the struggles that the characters go through, and obviously Harry himself. And those are just a few of the things that I wanted to share with you today. Quick side note, I've written about the 5 most motivating moments from the Harry Potter series that kind of helped me through the past few weeks. So if you're interested in reading those, go ahead and click the link in the description of this video, and please let me know in the comments what is the most motivating moment in Harry Potter for you. You never know who's struggling and might read these comments and be motivated by the thing that motivates you to help overcome their struggle, so please don't be afraid to share. Without struggle in his life, Harry would have never been the person that he turned out to be. He was essentially abused as a child, locked in a cupboard under the stairs, and it was never mentioned that he really had any close friends. I think he probably lived a pretty lonely and desolate life, and I think going through those long periods of loneliness and desolation for Harry taught him to sincerely value and appreciate the friends that he did come to make in his life. You know, when he met Ron and met Hermione, he didn't take those friendships for granted, and then it taught him to be a really loyal person. You know, when Ron and Hermione decided that they were going to butt heads, he never chose a side. He stayed very neutral and very loyal to them both. And as a result of Harry's struggles through his childhood, he learned loyalty and he learned love, and he needed both of those things in order to fulfill a prophecy about himself. He needed to be loyal to Dumbledore in order to trust him enough to go on this grand mission to destroy these Horcruxes and to gather these Hallows. And he needed to learn to understand and appreciate love and what love granted him in terms of protection, and what love meant to him in terms of being able to protect other people around him, which ultimately led him to sacrifice himself, which he needed to do in order to fulfill his prophecy. And do you think that, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old Harry understood at that time that his struggle was going to make him blossom into the person that he needed to be in order to make this huge, massive action happen that needed to in order to save an entire world that he didn't even know existed yet? Struggle is meant to teach us something. Struggle is meant to help us grow. We just don't understand that in the time because everything seems so heavy and so dark and it weighs us down. But I honestly think that we all need to quit shying away from struggle, because right after the struggle we tend to make our next grand leap towards our prophecy. Harry struggled with living under a cupboard under the stairs years before he was propelled into this world that he didn't even know existed, that became his entire life, and that meant a lot to him. Finding out that he was a wizard when Hagrid busted down the door opened up this entirely new world for him, but he didn't even know, even a week prior to that, that was what was right around the corner for him. So remember during your struggles that something great is about to open up for you. That's what struggle's there for. And remember that you don't have to struggle alone. We all struggle. We all understand what it's like to go through struggle. And while you may feel alone right now going through a struggle, keep pushing forward, because people will make their way into your lives in ways that you can't even begin to imagine yet. I can attest to this personally with a few amazing friends that I've met through the celebration of Harry Potter in Orlando, and I think there's a perfect example of this in the Harry Potter series. Lupin dealt with being different. Lupin dealt with being a werewolf, which caused him not to be himself for a period of a month, each and every month. I can't imagine what a struggle that would be to deal with. And he dealt with it alone. He didn't know any other werewolves. He didn't know anybody who could teach him how to get through that kind of thing. But then, down the line, enter the Marauders. The Marauders accepted him for who he was, and not only that, but they made the extra step to learn the very difficult trade of becoming an animagus so that they could be there for him during his struggles. And they even put their own safety on the line to be able to do that. And do you think that when Lupin was a child that he understood that he would make those friends? I'm sure he didn't even think that he was going to be invited to Hogwarts, let alone make these lifetime friends that he did at Hogwarts. The Marauders are true definitions of ride or dies. And another great example of this love and friendship that comes out of a period of struggle is Luna Lovegood, my favorite character. Luna dealt with being ridiculed, sometimes even to her face, for just being herself. And she never really showed it very much, but I'm sure she struggled in silence, even though she continued to be such a nice person and kind of turn the other cheek to these people who were ridiculing her. But Luna ended up meeting friends that would also become her ride or dies. Her friends were there for her in such a way that she was motivated by the level of friendship that they gave to her enough to paint her friends on her bedroom ceiling as a constant reminder of the light that they were bringing into her life. And she probably didn't understand that at the time when she was going through being ridiculed and going through her struggles. You know, we didn't get introduced to her until her 5th year, but I'm sure up until that 5th year, she had been struggling until she was introduced to Harry and the whole gang. And I want you to know that there are people out there that you might not have even met yet, that you don't even know exist, that are going to turn into that light for you. Remember, happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light. You might be struggling now. You might have just gotten out of a struggle. You might be getting ready to go through a struggle and you don't even know it yet. But remember, during your struggles, that there is something there, something that you might not even understand right now, that's going to help you propel forward into your greatness somewhere down the line. Find the light and understand that for yourself, and know that you aren't alone, that there is somebody or some people out there that you haven't maybe even met yet or even know exist, who are going to come to mean so much to you, and they're also going to become part of your light. And right now, if you're struggling to find the light, please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you need to talk. I would lend an ear to anybody who is struggling, because I know what it feels like to go through a struggle and feel like you're going through it alone. If you need to reach out to me, you can message me on Facebook, you can message me on Instagram. I will pop the link to both of those in the description. So always find the light, find the people who are your light, and stay magical, my friends.